I used to be really strong, but then I had an incident happen in my life, and I'm really weak now. Especially, I was really very weak during COVID. So I was like, oh my gosh, all these people are doing so much fun things gardening, and I can't do any of that with this raw land I'm living on. Well, it wasn't raw, but it was it had to have a lot of work before anything could be planted vegetable-wise. And I started devising methods that worked for someone who had barely any strength at all. And some of these methods are in common use now. But at the time that I was watching the internet back in, I don't know, 1920, there was just nothing for us older ladies who don't have much strength. But so I'm going to just show a few things that I came up with. And I don't think I'm alone in them. Let's just, so you can probably find these elsewhere now. But I'll show you what I came up with. One of the absolutely best things was finding these doohickeys. What these are, they're 10 foot long. Here's an arch right over here. It's hard to show on the camera, but they're 10 feet long, sort of like ladders. And up at the end, there's two little points there that'll go in the ground. These are used for mortar when you're doing stucco work. So you'll find them over by the stucco section in the hardware area, where they have a lot of different metal frames that you use for stucco. I think there were $3.98 each at the time I bought them at Home Depot. You'll find these a lot of places, and all you have to do is wedge them into the ground, or possibly you can wedge these two little feet inside the board right here. Just wedge them down. Okay, I have 3 of these standing over my new pepper bed, and I'm going to put a cover over it to protect it against a little bit of chill that's coming in. You shouldn't omit this step when you're starting out, is to brace this with some rope. So I'm just tying some rope here, and I'm leaving a free end that I'll be able to stake down over here. The middle, just a half hitch. I'm going to be very casual about this end because it's temporary. And then, I do my best not to cut the rope, so leave this rope free for later, but we're going to just easily stake down both ends. Bonus cat! You can just use those wire metal stakes, but I found a couple of these I'm going to use. We're not holding an errant horse, so I'm being very casual about holding the rope down. Here's the other end. It's a big mess. Spreading out the 40% shade cloth from the middle. Now the 40% shade cloth is just draped over it. Everybody's going to be really happy in here when it gets a little chilly. I used 5 clothespins on this end. This is an important part of the structural stability, so don't omit careful clothespinning of the cover or whatever clamp you use. I improved the end stake with a little rebar. You'll know what works in your area. And I have a structure that can and will last for a long time. Just adjust as needed for your area when you see something come up with it. Tell me how it works.